The night she vanished was the night I woke up. The night Lena disappeared. I thought it would just be another quiet Saturday. Earlier that afternoon, she'd casually mentioned a girls' night with her old college friend, Priya. Wine, movies, probably too much gossip, she said with a playful grin, but her eyes didn't quite meet mine. That flicker, subtle but unmistakable, felt like a thread unraveling in my chest. Still I nodded, played along. I didn't ask questions. I just watched her pack a small overnight bag and leave without so much as a goodbye kiss. Her phone was already on Do Not Disturb before she even backed out of the driveway. By midnight it was off entirely. That's when I knew something was wrong. Lena never turned off her phone. Not during long work trips. Not when she flew across the country to care for her father after his stroke. Not even when we got stuck in a blackout during a storm. She always found a way to stay connected. But tonight, nothing. No calls. No text. Just silence. I sat on the couch, fully dressed, shoes still on. I didn't bother pretending to watch the TV that was quietly flickering in front of me. I stared at the glow of my phone instead, refreshing our thread, my last message stuck in limbo. Delivered. Not delivered. Retry. I only texted 3 times. Then I stopped. But I didn't stop waiting. By 3:17 a.m. I was no longer waiting. I was searching. I walked to the drawer by the hallway mirror, the one stuffed with loose batteries, expired coupons, and all the tech junk we never threw away. Beneath it all I found my old iPhone. The one I'd used before I upgraded. The one Lena didn't know I'd kept. I turned it on. The screen flickered to life, dusty and dim. Connected it to Wi-Fi. Logged in to the Apple ID I'd set up for her years ago when she told me she didn't get tech stuff. She never changed the password. Still used her childhood parrot's name. Open Find My. Block. She'd manually disabled location sharing. That wasn't an accident. Lena hadn't lost her signal or forgotten a charger. She chose to vanish. I sat in the dark, the screen's blue light staining my face as the clock ticked past 4 a.m. I wasn't angry, not yet. I was cold. Hollow. Focused. At 9:38 a.m., I heard her key at the door. She stepped inside like she had just returned from a spa day. Hair in a loose braid. Designer sunglasses still on. A half-empty iced coffee in her hand like a badge of triumph. She didn't look at me. Just walked straight to the fridge, opened it, poked around like nothing was off. "You're still up?" she asked with a lightness that made my skin crawl. I didn't answer. I was too focused on the faint stain at the hem of her hoodie. Crimson. Lipstick maybe. But not her usual shade. Not something I'd ever seen her wear. Her phone was back on. Fully charged. Resting in her palm like it had never left her side. "I called you," I said, my throat like sandpaper. She didn't even blink. "Forgot my charger. Priya didn't have one that fit." "Chill out, Eli." She sipped her drink and laughed like I was being absurd. That lie was so lazy it insulted me. It wasn't meant to deceive. It was meant to dismiss. She brushed past me and tousled my hair like I was a confused kid who'd had a bad dream. "You worry too much." I stared at her, everything inside me stretching thin. "Where were you?" I asked, voice like glass, quiet but sharp. She paused, but only for a moment. Then she turned slowly, a smirk teasing the edge of her mouth. "At Priya's. Where else?" Her voice dripped with sarcasm. "You think I was out screwing someone?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. "Clara, sorry, Priya's Instagram story was still up. She'd been home all night. Alone. Playing board games with her cat. Eating mint chip ice cream out of the tub at 12:04 a.m. I'd already seen it. The silence unnerved Lena. She flinched when her phone buzzed on the counter. 3 unread messages from someone saved as a Vetra. We didn't know anyone by that name. And we didn't have pets. I reached for her phone. She lunged. "Don't touch my stuff." I locked eyes with her. "You sure?" She sneered. "Go ahead. Make yourself look crazy." I didn't open it. I didn't need to. Instead, I walked to the drawer, pulled out a sealed envelope, and slid it across the counter beside her coffee. Divorce papers. Her hand hovered over them like they might burn her. She tried to laugh it off, but her voice cracked. This is insane. You're seriously doing this over a dead phone? I didn't speak. Silence made her squirm. I didn't cheat, she whispered. Not convincingly. Just routinely. Like a script she'd rehearsed a dozen times. Let's talk about a vetra, I said. She blinked. Then recovered. He's Priya's ex. He's a vet. She's adopting a dog. Used my number. Jesus, Eli, you're embarrassing. The lie tumbled out too quickly, too perfect. Pre-bait. I didn't even laugh. Just said, prove it. No. Why not? She erupted. Shouting. Blaming me for being cold. Distant. Obsessed. Typical. But I didn't argue. Waited. When she was done, I said calmly. I didn't file because of last night. I filed because I stopped recognizing the person I married. The lies stopped being clever. You stopped caring if I knew. She didn't deny it. Just stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door. Hours passed. When she came out, she was dressed like she was going to brunch. Her tone was ice cold. What now? You want me to cry? Beg. You're no saint, Eli. You left emotionally before I ever did physically. That's when it clicked. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't one night of bad judgment. This was a slow unraveling. Years of rot behind a painted smile. You didn't leave me, I said quietly. You just started living a life that didn't include me. She smiled. Maybe that life didn't include being treated like a suspect every day. Then she grabbed her keys. I need air. I didn't stop her. But while she was gone, I opened her laptop. Still logged in. No password prompt. I opened iMessage. Trash folder bursting. Conversations with a Vetra. Alex Vetra. Dozens. Last night was unreal. Still taste you. Wish I didn't have to sneak away like this. I printed everything. When she came back, humming like a teenager, I handed her the folder. She flipped through it. Her face hardened. But she didn't cry. Didn't yell. She smiled. So this is it. Surveillance and screenshots. No, I said. It's the truth. She let out a bitter chuckle. You think this makes you the hero? I stayed silent. So what now? You leave. She packed quietly. Methodically. Like she was going to a yoga retreat. At the door she paused. I never loved him, she said flatly. I didn't flinch. He just wanted me, she added with venom. You wanted a performance. I stepped closer. He wanted the version of you I thought was real. She faltered. Just for a second. Then she smiled again. Cold and final. I'll text when I want to get the rest of my stuff. Left. And for the first time in years, the silence in the house wasn't loneliness. It was peace. I stood in the bedroom, staring at the dent on her pillow. Not mourning her. Just mourning the illusion. I wasn't heartbroken anymore. I was finally awake.